Thank you so much for being here. My name is Beatriz Martinez Peñalver. I know it's a long name. I am a psychotherapist with over 25 years of experience in mental health. I am a wife and I am a mother of a 12-year-old daughter who is the inspiration behind Triumph. You see, every morning when I take Sophia to school, when I drop her off, I say, okay, Sophia, have a great day. Remember, thoughts become things. Keep them beautiful. And she gets out of the car, and the next morning comes. I say the same thing. Sophie, remember, thoughts become things. Keep them beautiful. And I have been saying this to Sophia for the past 8 years. At night, we also have our routine. And so every single night I go, Sophia, did you take a shower? Did you brush your teeth? Are you ready for bed? And I go over that about 10 times. And then we go into our routine of the night. We first go over our gratitude list. And I tell her, okay, tell me the things that you're grateful for. And she will tell me, you know, her health, her food. And then we go over something really specific that happened that day that she wants to tell me that she's grateful for. So she will tell me a story like, okay, Mom, today I went to do service and I was reading to this little girl who was about 5 years old, and she was just looking at me the whole time, and she just looked so precious and so attentive. And there was a moment when she put her little hand on my arm, and it just made me so happy. And so we go over the gratitude list, and then after we finish that, we go into silence for about 6 to 7 minutes. And one night, I was there doing silence with her, and all of a sudden, in my quiet space, I hear this very loud thought that came to my mind and said, okay, Beatriz, you keep telling Sophia that thoughts become things and she needs to keep them beautiful. What kind of thoughts are you having right now that you want to become a thing? And I could not think of anything that I wanted to become a thing. I really felt like a hypocrite. I felt that I was telling my daughter something that I was not doing. And so it was like something that really shook me hard. And at that moment, what I did is I went into my room because I felt that my life was just all of a sudden a very ordinary life, a life like almost like a mediocre life. My tomorrow and the next day look exactly like the week before, any day of the past 2 months. So I went, after I finished with her, I went into my room and I went into a very, very deep silence that lasted probably 2 hours, but with a very, very specific intention. And my intention was, I need to be an instrument of something bigger. I want to be something, an instrument. I didn't even know what my talents were at that moment, but I need my talents to be used in some way that I can bring joy and happiness to other people. And so that is how the idea of Triumph was born. Now, what is Triumph Steps? Triumph is a curriculum, an emotional literacy curriculum. I'm going to say this clearly because my brother says, with your accent, I understand leadership. It's not leadership. It's an emotional literacy curriculum that I want to bring into every single school in the world. And why do I want to bring an emotional literacy curriculum? Because we have the history curriculum and the math curriculum, but we do not teach our children the most important thing, which is emotional literacy. Now, why do I think that it's so important? Because we hear it in all the news at all times. Children at a younger and younger age are committing these horrific homicides or committing suicide. Or we get more and more children coming into our office cutting themselves. There's an epidemic of cutting. They're not trying to kill themselves. They're trying to release stress. Drugs, alcohol, they're just on the rise. There is a 400% increase in the use of antidepressants in the past 20-some years. And we're still are doing nothing about bringing into the school system and mandate an emotional literacy curriculum. So that is what Triumph Steps is going to do. I always tell people that I've been in the mental health field for over 20-some years, and none of my colleagues or my husband, who's a psychiatrist, has ever told me that, or in my experience, I've never had a client that came into my office and said, oh my, I'm so depressed, I'm so anxious, I don't remember trigonometry from 12th grade. Oh my gosh, I'm so depressed, I don't remember who fought in World War I. Never. We never get those clients. We get them for different reasons, and the reasons are they're having problems with their wives, their husbands, their children. They don't have a relationship and they want a happy relationship, or they come in because they feel stagnant in life and like life is not taking them anywhere, and they need a purpose or a meaning to their lives. That's why they come into our office. And we still do not teach in the schools the tools that they need so they triumph in their lives. I want to show you a little video because I have a lady, Lisa Nichols. Does anybody here know who Lisa Nichols is by any chance? She's a speaker, a motivational speaker, this wonderful, phenomenal woman. I hope that one day I would be able to speak like her. But anyways, does anybody know here The Secret, the book, The Secret? There, yes, okay. Well, Lisa Nichols was in The Secret, and she has a little endorsement for Triumph that I'd like to play.
Triumph is necessary. Triumph is the type of content and curriculum, awareness, and healing that our children and their families need. I so agree with Beatrice and the fact that while we mandate math and science and English, that emotional literacy is the key. It's the catalyst. It's the seed from which all other forms of literacy can grow in a healthy environment. Triumph is a curriculum that breeds possibility for our children, for our educational institutions, and ultimately for our future. Triumph, the curriculum, should be in all elementary, middle, high schools, and universities. It should be a basic foundation like reading and writing. It allows us to grow our children from a healthy place, a place of emotional intelligence. Beatrice offers us a step-by-step guide to make what seemed to be difficult much more easier to implement. She empowers through her in-depth curriculum, her teacher's guide, through her step-by-step process, educators to bring forth the literacy necessary for our children to grow in the most positive, productive way possible. I implore you, as I have done in my life, to make emotional literacy a priority. Beatrice gives us those tools and the steps to do just that. Instead of trying to reinvent the wheel or make it up, let's follow this guide and transform our planet through our children.
Thank you. That's exactly what Triumph is going to do. We're going to transform our planet through the 8 steps of the program. And Orestes is going to tell me here if I still have a few more. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to tell you the 8 steps very briefly of the curriculum, okay? We're going to teach children, number 1, that a clearly identified target can much more easily be hit. We are going to let them know that we need to have an idea of where it is that we want to hit that target, because if we don't have any idea where we're going, this is what's going to happen. When we have a clearly identified target and we throw with persistence, we'll get there. So we teach children how to do that. We teach children that every good student always writes notes. So they're going to have a plan of how it is that they plan to get that target, okay? And we teach them also how to do that. We have a step 3, which talks about be aware of the different ways fear talks to you. I'm going to teach children about fear. Every single person here has experienced fear, and we all experience fear. So I want to teach children that fear is a normal emotion, and I'm going to teach them how to overcome that fear and how to expand their comfort zone each day. I'm going to let them know that fear disguises itself in a lot of funny ways, either becoming a victim, blaming somebody, or with these brilliant excuses. You know, we want to get a target, and all of a sudden we're happy that we're going there, and then we're so afraid. We come up with these wonderful excuses, and it freezes us, it paralyzes us. So I want to teach them about fear. And then we have step 4 that's going to teach children to fake it until they make it. Now, a lot of people may say, oh, fake it until you make it. This one is going to create a bunch of fakes in the world. No, fake it until you make it. It's a very cognitive, behavioral, psychological, proven technique that talks about act as if. Act as if whatever it is that you want in your life is already part of your life. And how is it that we're going to do that with Triumph Steps? I have audio work techniques that I'm going to give the children, and I'm going to give them what I call for the students I ams. I ams are just affirmations, because affirmations are the blueprint for us to what it is we're going to be in the future. So whatever they tell and repeat themselves that they are, and they believe that after repeating it many times, that's what they're going to become. So I'm going to give them the audio work that's going to help them build and become self-empowered individuals, confident individuals. I'm going to teach them about visualizations. Visualization is a technique that's out there already, mainstream. Athletes are using visualization to become what, you know, these superstars are. Well, I'm going to show children how it is that we do visualizations. How is it that we do it with an intention? I'm going to teach children these techniques so in 20 years from now, none of these kids end up in my clinic, or they end up in some other clinic in the world, or they end up in a hospital, or they end up in jail or in a morgue. These are the techniques that they need to hear. So then we have step 5, which is silence, and I'm going to teach silence also through the audio. Okay, a lot of you probably have heard about meditation or silence, and you probably have attempted that at some point and have not been able to do it very well because we don't have the practice, and you probably tried it for a little bit and gave up. There is so much evidence, clinical, scientific evidence of the benefits of silence. Silence is the hygiene of the mind. You brush your teeth every single day. You take a shower, hopefully a few times a day, right? You take a shower every day, and we don't do anything for the hygiene of our mind. Silence is the hygiene of our minds. So I give these children the techniques, the tool, the easy things for the teachers to use in their schools so children get the hygiene of the mind every single day. Then we have step 6, which is life is a boomerang. Kids are going to understand that every action has a reaction, okay? Every action has a consequence. So whatever intention they put on that step 5 better be good for themselves and the world. They need to be prepared to welcome what they give, okay? I'm going to teach them there about gratitude, that anything that they are grateful for multiplies, and I'm going to teach them about contribution, that when we give to the world, it just comes back to us. We don't give to receive, but it's just one of those laws of the universe that when we give, it just comes back to us. So they learn about that in step 6. Then we have step 7, which teaches them about choosing the right people to surround themselves with, okay? I love what Jim Rohn says. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. You know, I want to teach children from the beginning that that's really important in their lives, and that they need a mentor to get whatever it is that they want to get in their lives. And there is another point here that I want them to understand. Science has been telling us for the past 150 years with Darwin's theory that we're here as survival of the fittest. And we really believe that we're survival of the fittest. Well, there is plenty, again, of evidence, of very scientific research that's teaching us that humans do not fit into that. That humans actually get ahead much farther in life when we cooperate with each other, when we present mutual aid, not when we compete with each other. And then we have step 8, which is what's going to make and break everything in life for us, which is repetition, repetition, repetition. Nothing in life is going to be learned. We're not going to learn any skills unless we repeat, repeat, repeat. So I'm going to have a bunch of posters, audio and visual aids for the children so they learn these steps from the beginning. These are basically the steps for triumph. So how is it that I need you to help me here? I need you to help me connecting me with people that could bring the curriculum into school systems, with politicians that would be able to do a change and make this happen in whole school systems, or maybe in the media. Maybe one of you know Oprah Winfrey, and you can put me in contact with her and we can be in Super Soul Sunday soon. So that's basically how I need your help. I think that it is our responsibility to push humanity forward, and it's every one of the ones here, sitting here, you know, our duty is to push humanity forward. And I know that children are about 25% of the population right now, but for sure, they're 100% of our future. So that's where we need to start. Thank you so much.